All right, so we are back. It has been quite a ride these past couple weeks, months, would you say?
I would say it's been an adventure.
It's been an adventure. Okay, we're going to talk about that today. So we're just getting the ball rolling. I'm going to use the word consistent or consistency here, which is the most important thing. But I want to talk about how inconsistent our life has been the past couple months. I know we did a podcast in California. We took off. We had 3, 4, 5 podcasts. We got the momentum. We stayed on. Well, we stopped and then got up and stopped and got up. And I want to talk about that a little bit. But what has it felt like these past couple months? And straight truth, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, we just got done at the David Goggins event here, the Andy Elliott event. And, for me, there was a breakthrough about I just want to tell the truth. I just want to tell the truth in everything we do. I don't want to be a marketer anymore. I just want to share the story. I just want to freaking tell the truth. But the same for you in front of the audience, because a lot of people step out in the world and they try to act like they're going to go do something, or they say they're going to go do something because they want to go do this thing. And then when they realize how difficult it really is, a lot of people quit. And I know we've had some moments where we don't share, we don't share with the world. We hadn't had a chance to share with them because we haven't even had a freaking video guy. Right. As a matter of fact, we had a video guy that we paid full time that lived in California, who didn't make any content for us. I'm a real freaking idiot doing this. But how has it felt for you?
I think it's been an array of emotions. Like, I felt all of them. I've been extremely excited, and then I felt like everything was up in the air and I haven't felt settled. And then I felt like I've seen glimpses of where there's peace coming, and then it's like all chaotic again. There's been really amazing moments. So I've definitely felt an array of everything. But when we first moved, it was really exciting. Obviously, it was like a fresh start. It was exciting. We were going to take over. We didn't really know why we were going to California, other than the fact that you wanted to go to Arizona first. I was not sold on Arizona. I was like, how are you going to take a Midwest girl who's like obsessed with the forest and nature and water and lakes and put me in a desert? I love to go visit it. I love the heat. But for me to live there, I was just not sold on it. And then so I was like, well, what about California? You've always loved California. You used to live there. You have a crazy part of your story that was in California. But California, to me, I was like, heck yeah, let's go. Dana Point, California, here we come. We get to California, and it was amazing, as it was like an, oh shit, did we mess up?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's always, again, I don't really know how to articulate the.
I want to talk less about the amazing, right?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about
I want to talk more
oh crap.
about the oh crap, because I just want people to realize how freaking hard it is.
It's so hard for me to be not positive about the entire situation because of what came out of Dana Point, California. What our life wouldn't be where it's at if that oh crap moment didn't happen. So maybe I'm just being too optimistic about it. But in the moment, it was like we took over Garrett's office, and that was a massive overhead. And we kind of collected all of his people that he kind of threw away, right? It was like, he's not using them. He's going to do his thing, right? Like, he outgrew them, which is fine, right? I'm not saying anything bad about it. But we were kind of collecting all of his people, and they're amazing people, but they weren't amazing for our company. You are a very specific individual with very specific wants and needs, and it just felt like nobody could meet those standards. Now, on the other side, we didn't make those standards very clear. We were in a very chaotic, like, let's just get here, let's just get settled, let's just hit the ground running, let's just go, go, go. And then it all came like screeching to a halt, and you were like, WTF, we just got to go, we got to push, we got to grind. Meanwhile, I'm also on the opposite spectrum where I'm like in the business, we're doing stuff, but I also have to make sure that our home life is okay, because it was not easy for our home life either. Picking up and moving, from our son in high school, our daughter in middle school, and Bailey in elementary school, and thankfully, Bailey, she's the younger one. She did fine, but for Phoenix and Jade, that was a lot of emotion for them to pick up and move, and their friends, and a lot of death that had happened before we had left. And so I'm trying to keep composure and calm, cool, and collected at home. Right. Meanwhile, the business is not going like we thought. It was so much more like we thought we could step into it and take off running. Some of that happened,
I think,
but not to the degree of which we wanted.
I want you to keep talking, but I want to say something I think that is very important I don't know many people that just pick up and move their entire family.
No.
And when I say my entire family in the past couple of months, not my team, my brother, his family, like your sisters came across we brought your mom. Like when I moved, I brought a wave of people with me, focused on where I was going, but I underestimated for us, and without telling you how I underestimated how difficult it really was.
Yeah, of course. And I think we both did. I think we always know it's going to be difficult. We kind of anticipated like things are probably going to be harder before they get better. Like we're learning a completely new, different life. I definitely think we went into it kind of anticipating some of the struggle, right?
I went into it thinking that everyone's going to be gung ho. They're going to think the way that I think, and we're just going to freaking crush, kill, destroy, and win no matter what. Like when I stopped drinking, I know I'll share this again. When I stopped, and I was like, wait, people don't snort cocaine at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and drink at the bar and get smoked before they go to work. Like that was the life that I lived. And I thought that was absolutely normal. And it's no different in this, like this, what is it? The reality distortion field or whatever that Steve Jobs lives in my own world that I've created. I didn't think that we were going to have any problems. I'm not joking.
Yeah. You definitely.
When I say underestimated, I literally thought that I was going to just destroy everybody.
You definitely think that everybody operates and runs at the level that you do. And so many, it is what it is, but so many people just, again, I think I said they just don't meet that standard for you. And then there's such a massive frustration that comes from you that whether you mean to give it off or not, always comes off. And you're just like so, I know you hate the word, but you're just so disappointed in what people's ability to work is that you just get so frustrated, right? But
do we think that's a me thing or do we think that's a them thing?
Well, I was going to say, I think it's a mixture of both. I think that when you are a leader of the capacity that you are, I think that there has to be grace given to people because not everybody is going to operate and run at the level that you do. We already know that. But I also think that people have to carry their own weight and there has to be a standard. And if those people cannot meet that standard, then I'm sorry, we don't have room for you on this team. Mm-hmm. You know, I think we kind of talked about it last night on our meeting. Like we want to be a part of a winning culture. A winning culture to us means this. If you cannot meet that, then you can't be a part of our winning culture, right? And so, but a big part of us getting into, frustrating positions is not taking the time when people come into our world that want to help, or and the opposite side too. We've attracted a lot of opportunists, people that just see dollar signs and want to come in and Mark shall pay, boom, boom, and not doing the work. But anyways, I think,
and I'm letting you talk about this because I want you to talk about how you really feel. Because one thing I'm after right now, these past couple of days, I realized that I'm not going to lose everything because I have you and I have these kids and I have me. But there was a moment where like I was questioning, not us, but just questioning everything.
And
I'm very emotional, right? I want to give you the primary ability to talk today, but I'm going to keep putting it in there. But I'm like very emotional. I'm very driven, and there was some moments when I'm like, man, fuck this.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a bad thing to be so. I don't know this of you. Like I've said it 1,000 times. Like you are so emotional. You feel things very deeply.
We saw sides of me that you never seen before coming here.
Yeah, and I'm happier for it too because I love being able. I love the fact that you are able to trust me in all of your vulnerable, darkest, whatever thoughts they are. That you let them out and you do expose them to me because I truly believe it only makes us stronger. Mm-hmm. And I sit in a position where my sole job as your wife is to like serve you and to make sure that you are okay and that you are able to perform at the highest level. And I can't do that if I don't know all the sides of you. Like that's just truly how I feel.
Yeah, no, and I think we made some massive strides. And it's like even heavy for me to say because I seen my life going one way, but dinner the other night after the event, we cut out there early. We went and we sat down and I was sharing some truths from just shit that I didn't even want to tell you. Yeah. Right? Not in a bad way. And like, I could tell you everything. I'm just like, man, I don't really want her to know these things. You're holding your tongue.
Yeah. Like not saying it in fear of,
but I don't want to make this about me. I wanted to make this about you and how you felt and what you've done and acknowledge the fact that like, I couldn't do it without you. And half the time I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
To be
honest with you, I stood up James sitting back here reading a book right now, trying to buy back his time. Literally we came to California thinking we're going to build one way, and some entire new world opened up. And when this entire world opened up, I believe we got under some sort of demonic spiritual attack. And I'm not going to lie. And now looking at some of our clients that are coming from this world right now, they're underneath it at the same time too. Like, it's happening.
I think it's a very real thing that when you're a very influential or a person with a massive mission on your heart to do good for the world, I 100% believe that there is a lot more spiritual attack on that, right?
I can't hear the words truth. I can't unhear the words truth. It's like ringing in my head constantly. We just made some ads here a little bit ago, and Tyler's first time I got to work with him. I got James back here. I'm like, he never heard me do stuff, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be a marketer. I don't want to be a fucking marketer. I want to be a truth teller.
I think the coolest thing out of this entire adventure that we've been on, which has been filled, again, like I said, with all the emotions of chaos and pain and happiness and extreme like gratitude for, like you just said, we were able to stand up a 7-figure offer within like a day. Right?
It's in a day we did it, right? But it's going to be an 8-figure. It's going to be an 8-figure agency by the end of the year. And it'll be the biggest, fastest growing piece I've ever done.
Exactly. And I think that everything, again, going back to not having, it's hard for me to not have the gratitude for it because everything had to happen exactly how it had to happen. And I truly believe that. We had to sit down in our kitchen with Mark and Bree and have them pour their hearts out because they were so desperate for help and just needed and wanted to do something big with their life and just didn't have the blueprint for it. And you being able to be like, oh, God's tugging on my heart right now. You know what? I'm just going to help you guys. Like, let me tell you exactly what the heck to do, you know?
I want to share something with you. You know, I'm trying to build a positive life, but it's hard to build a positive life with the negative thoughts, right?
Of course it is.
As you know, and sometimes it's not negative thoughts, it's negative people, and it's negative just emotions, actions, outcomes. And I feel like these past 4 or 5 months, that's why I wanted you to share how it felt for you, is like how many nights did I come home and my eyes are bleeding? Like straight up. Like I
can't keep them open. Yeah.
By like 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Driving home from work is unsafe.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not because of I don't love what I do. I definitely love what I do. I believe that I've been getting attacked in such a way. And I don't want to make this all about spiritual warfare and God and stuff like that. But I feel like I've been getting attacked in such a way because we're actually moving the right way. But I'm telling you that moving the right way, as you know, has been the hardest thing. When we were comfortable on the farm, we didn't know how good we had it, but how good we had it. Did we actually have it good? Or were we just playing so small that we were awarded? I'm asking myself these type of questions. Did the money come from, was it God or was it to keep us stuck? Because we want to go back to that safety, and we go back to this place where we don't have podcasts and we're good on our land. We're frolicking around. We got 34 acres, right? And now we're like busting out, and as we're pushing and pushing and pushing, it got significantly harder. And the difference, though, that I want you to talk about is it hasn't even been hard. It's been bleeding.
Yeah, it's. I think if I could share like exceptional wisdom just for where I've been sitting, and as a wife and as a mom and all of the things on the inside, a piece of wisdom is if you also have a husband who is doing something so massive and so big, the biggest foundational piece that you could be is calm. And there's been so many times where it's been like highs and lows and you're coming home and your eyes are bleeding and the venting. Like, I think this is, it's a rough,
started to hate myself for venting to you.
It's a rough truth. It's a rough truth to hear, but you only come to me and we do have James, you know, that you can vent to, but every single day when things are so bad and they're just not running the way you want them to run, you come to me and it's just like, I felt like such a punching bag for so long. Mm-hmm. But what I'm going to say is the most important part is I felt like a punching bag and it was just like, boom, Kendra, take it. Boom, Kendra, take it. And I was willingly, and I will willingly every single time be that like metaphorical punching bag because I every single day am so grateful that I don't have the pressure that you have on your heart and on your shoulders to like take care and provide for everything that you do. Right. And I think it's so important as a wife to be that calm, that steady, that reassurance, that positivity. And I was not always positive. Like there's been so many times where you're like, I just need you to remind me. And I would tell you, I'm so sorry, but your energy is so heavy that sometimes the best thing that I can just do is be quiet. You know, I don't want to say anything negative. I don't want you to ever quit. I've never once told you to stop or to give up or that maybe this isn't for us. I've questioned it for whether I was built for it sometimes, right? Because it is hard. It is so hard, emotionally hard and heavy when the person that you love is trying to do something massive. And the last thing that I want to be is negative or not be your biggest fan, right? But man, sometimes when you really have laid it on thick in like some of the darkest moments, I'm just like, damn, am I am I built for this? Because am I being weak right now because I'm not like there's just so many emotions that come with it. And I don't think that's talked about enough. And I also think that husbands
I don't think people
don't
can hear it
yeah.
back and forth, number one.
Well, I don't think what I was going to say on top of that is I don't think husbands give their wives enough credit either. Because if you didn't come to me and you didn't vent to me and I didn't know what was going on inside of your mind 24/7, good, bad, ugly, mostly ugly or indifferent, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. We would not be where we're at, you know? And I don't think husbands give their wives enough credit to be like, damn, you know what? You are my equal in all things. Now I always know that you never meant to hurt me. I know that you needed to like relieve pressure. I know that's what you needed. And again, I think that as a warrior, like literally like a wife that would go to war right next to you, I feel like that's kind of like me doing my part in the battle, you know? Because I'm not out on the front lines every single day. I'm not the one who's waking up in the middle of the night wondering what it's like to have the pressure to feed my family and to pay everybody that's not working and just all of the mess that comes with it. I don't have that pressure. I can wake up and I can be your wife and I can be loving and supporting. I can take care of our kids, you know, but in doing my part and any wife doing her part, I feel like that doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you a pushover. That doesn't make you anything except for built for the freaking life that you're trying to build with your husband.
Yeah. I think, just hearing you talk about some of that stuff, it shouldn't be that hard. Like it really shouldn't be that hard. Why it got hard is because I was being pulled away from who I really am.
Yeah. There was a bunch of things in the chaos of moving and
it started long before the moving.
It did.
It's been years.
It's been years and you have in some ways as you're trying to grow and like recreate so many things, you've changed some of the things about you that you should have never changed. Some of the like hard ass or the badass or like the really crazy, which I am obsessed with. That's why I literally fell in love with you. I was like, this guy's psycho. I'm kind of obsessed. You kind of lost some of those parts. It just became so clouded with other things. And I think it's normal. I
don't think it's normal. I
don't think you give yourself enough grace for it. But what you did is you caught it. You caught it and you were like, dang, I really stopped doing all the things that made me me. And you can go back to that, right? And I think a lot of people, when they're trying to build something massive and have massive standards, because you have like, I don't know anybody, and I've been around a lot of incredible people, a lot of incredible guys that have built things. I don't know anybody with the standard that you have. And also, that's been shit on more. Like things just for whatever reason, you just get shit on, you know? And yeah, I forget where I was going to go with that anyways, but I think it's just important to know that if you do get lost because you're trying to figure things out and you're tracing and you're going back and and to go back to that guy that has a chip on his shoulder that wants to get it done. That's like, you know what? Take everything that I've learned right now because you've learned a lot. Like you are such a better coach. You are such a better husband. You are such a better student. You are such a better follower of Christ. Like in so many ways, you are 10 times better.
Right.
So you didn't really get lost, but now you just get to go back to.
I don't think I got lost. Well, I definitely got lost, but I think it was intentionally getting lost. I think I was trying to put on all these additions to who I am instead of just staying at the essence of what makes me me.
Yeah, I love that.
Right. And what's the essence of what makes me me is I'm pretty gritty, right? I'm pretty rough around the edges. I love action. I love energy. Mm-hmm. I hope it's only 2:30 right now. We're filming this. I hope that we can have calls going until midnight tonight.
That would be your best life.
I just fucking love it. I don't ever want it to shut off. And that's what got us here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you remember back when we first started dating, like we first started dating, I was building this thing and on the porch, we get done. You know what it was? I had these big headphones on my head and I'd be out there in my underwear in the porch, just I don't know why I was in my underwear, but I was in my underwear, I guess, just chilling.
And a big red shirt. I remember that said Generation MX.
Generation MX, yep. Red shirt I had on, and I'd be just working and working and working and working. And we'd freaking hang out, and we didn't have any money. And as fast as I was making money, it was going back, and I was negative in my bank account, but I was still working and grinding every day and taking care of you and becoming a dad to 2 little girls and raising a son. And we're doing all the things, and we're getting close and falling in love with each other and making love to each other, then going right back to work and freaking, I'd be working all night long. And although that it's like, I don't think I want that to end. And I think what happens though, is for me trying to figure out, I mean, as James is back here reading this thing, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, there's a part in there, like what lights you up, and what really lights me up is work. Like it really lights me up.
It really does. Yeah.
I
hate work.
You know, like just the overall and the construction of an energy and working and building this thing. And I know that I can't take every sales call, but to walk into a room where there's midgets flying, like Wolf of Wall Street, like that's my best life.
It really is.
Right? Like I just love that.
Be, yeah.
And you know, recently what's happened is we became friends with Andy Elliott, and he's been able to establish and build the culture that I want to build for myself because and we make excuses like, it's because of alcohol and this and that. No, man, it's because he chose it for himself.
Yeah, that's so true.
And I started playing for everybody else.
Yep. Yeah, and I think honestly, the biggest lesson, if I had to pick one lesson in the entire, how many months has it been? 5 months since we left Wisconsin.
Yeah, January, February, March, April. We're not even in May.
Almost May, right?
Months,
okay. Yeah. Nearly 5 months of complete chaos and feeling kind of like everything's up in the air, but willingly doing it because we know what we want to build, right? The biggest takeaway is that success, like massive success or the next level, is never going to look or feel like you think it's supposed to. It's just not. Like we have a North Star, we have an idea, and there has been so many turns and pivots and halts and mountains to climb, and gratefully doing it. Like, but man, it has never once looked or felt like we thought it was supposed to. And anytime we're like in a massive success portion, I'm like, dang, that did not feel like crossing the finish line and everybody cheering and yelling. Because and especially with the level that you move at, it's like we hit one target and it's just like already evolving into the next thing. Okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing?
We've done more in 4 months than most people will do in their entire
lifetime. And right? I know that. I know.
And I don't want to say that to compare to most people because I don't really care about most people. I want them to live their best life. But for my life, I moved at that rate and I'm still behind. And
that's actually one of my favorite like qualities about you is that you always feel like you're behind. You always feel like you are behind. You always move with an urgency. You always feel like everybody's beating you.
We've ran into the problem though, is that I can feel behind and I can feel hungry, but when the people around me don't even have a tenth of the hunger that I have, and I think we got a couple people right now that do. Yeah, but when the masses of the people around you start putting and clawing at you and their movement, it becomes a drag, right? It becomes an anchor, and it's not. And I don't care how strong I am or how positive I am or how powerful, how much I work out or all this different ebbs and flows of who I am. The minute that a cancer gets in you, like think about taking like Lance Armstrong. I know he took some PEDs, right? But like dude's a warrior and a winner, and cancer still kicked his ass. And this is no different when you have people. Doesn't matter how positive I am. Doesn't matter how focused I am. Because there's seasons where I'm so focused. If we put the wrong people close to me, I am fucked.
Yeah. And it happens every time. And again, kind of on that lesson that we've learned massively too is by allowing sometimes like those cancerous people to sneak in and speak negativity or to not work to the standard of which they should be working at, is before what would happen is you would just go like cut everybody off and like a total recluse and just be like, F it, I'm doing it all on my own again. Like I have James and I have Chris and I have me and I know that what we can build. So I'm just going to back away. Right.
Back in the day, I didn't have I just had Kevin. So I was just me and Kevin. Now I at least got James and Chris, right? So I got two more people.
But now in this growth phase of your life, you're like, okay, you know what? I do know that I cannot just cut everybody off and I have to teach and I have to continuously teach and I have to teach again and I have to teach again and I have to keep teaching.
And I agree with you, right?
And leading, yeah.
But teaching, okay, how I teach is by my standards and the action that I hold them to.
Yep.
Right? It's not like sitting down. Like this is like how you teach the girls' school. That's not what it is.
No.
Right? My job is to teach by showing them that I'll never quit, but not just showing them I'll never quit, but I'll continue to get better and be able to say things that I didn't want to say. Our whole program's built off of 3 words: stop fucking lying.
Yep.
Right. And I come to find out, like, even when you're trying to build something, you'll make exceptions for the rule. And then all of a sudden you realize, like, dude, I didn't tell any lies, but I'm a full blown liar.
I think I never looked at it as like you were lying when these standards were being met by people.
You might not look at it, but
you do.
I have to look at it like that because I have to fucking kill every piece of me that I absolutely hate right now.
Yeah, you do. And I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
We're in, and there's no going back to this thing. And I'm going to call my shot right now. Like, we're going to be the size of Andy. I mean, he's running harder than us, but like, he's our friend, and he's our friend in friendly competition or whatever. Like, we're both psychopaths.
You guys are such psychopaths.
He's smoking me right now. And I can say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we're not winning. We live, our offices are 1.5 miles or so down the road. I don't even know how far it is, but 2 miles from each other down the road. We're friends. We text. Our kids run around together every freaking day. And I'm not even close. I might be in second, but he's like lapping, trying to, like, he hasn't lapped me yet. Right. It might be in second. In my mind, I know there's guys that are bigger and there's other people. There's a lot of other guys that are killing it. But like, if we were to pick somebody who has a life that we want, we talked about last night, it's them. Maybe not the same, right? But like, there's a peace and a tranquility and a serenity of running a big business that they have that I've not been able to get yet. And then when I'm talking about trying to catch him and be as big, it's not about as big of maybe financially, because he's got such a big thing. It's about being as big of a human being, as loud of a presence, right? To share and impact the world with the pain and the hell that I've been through. Yeah. We've suffocated everything about what made us us. Your war stories, your dad dying, your brother dying, our fights to get here, not like fighting each other, but what we fought through to get here. The fact that everything that we had, that we got together, was in your name because I couldn't finance a piece of bubble gum. Yeah. The hatred in the town, the community for me, the suicidal thoughts, parenting a son whose biological mother died, right? And through, not just even through the die, but the 7-8 years of the missing Christmases and fucking wanting to kill people and anger and rage. And then at a deathbed, being able to make good with, like, my life is gnarly as fuck. And it has been. And I'm not even sharing my stuff. That's just what we've done here. And we don't even talk about it. But we talk about what we did, what we created, was we took the essence of what made me me, and we stood behind direct response marketing. Yeah, sure. And it made me a bitch that knows how to make money. And I hate that about myself. And for that, I will change everything. And we can. Again, I think there's just so many. Now being in Scottsdale, Arizona, Fountain Hills, Arizona, from California to here, what would have happened? Because I think this is important for husbands and wives to hear. And to, what would have happened if... You know what, baby? I don't even give a fuck about the husband's lives. This is about me and you. Okay. So you can say what you want to say. I want you to say it. But I'm asking myself, as I'm watching my beautiful wife, who I love, why are we doing this? We're doing this because it makes me feel good. We're doing this because it makes you feel good. I don't give a shit if people listen to us. There, a lot of people do. They do. But that's not why we're doing this. I'm doing this because I want the world, I want to document our story so our grandkids and our great grandkids can hear what the fuck it took to get here. Everyone else can get fucked in a nice way. Right? Yeah. What were you going to say? I think I was going to say, what would have happened, or what would, well, I mean, the answer is so obvious, but I'm going to ask it anyway so that way you could say it. But if I wouldn't have supported you, and if I was a wife, that if you came to me with something and I was like, don't fucking talk to me about that, like, you're just too much, I don't trust you, everything is going to crumble and fall, I don't trust your risks, I don't trust, like, no, that's too much money to put into self-development, you can't pay that much money. Because I think the majority of the time, more wives are like that than not. And I don't think they're doing it out of a place as they don't trust their husbands fully. But they don't trust their husbands fully. They don't. And so what's the question? What would I have done? I know we wouldn't be, I was going to say, would we be here right now? We wouldn't even be together. We wouldn't even be together. In my whole entire life, like, I've loved the people that have loved me, have hurt me. And if that would have been the case, then I would have just said, well, I'm just a bad judge of character again. Way to go, you stupid fuck. I guess we're just raising some kids and you're rolling forward, right? That's what would have happened. And I would have kept going because I don't know how to quit even when I want to quit. Yeah. Like when David Goggins would say the other day, he's like, yeah, I quit. but I didn't really quit. I've quit a million times in my mind, but I never fucking quit.
Yep.
Right. So, but what would have happened if we would have done that? It would have never happened because long before you were you, I saw who you were and who I could make you become. And I'm still going to make you become that woman that I know that you are by pushing you to be great, because you've always given me the one thing that no one ever in the world's ever given me. You've never judged me.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you literally have heard awful things about me, watched me make mistakes. You've also watched me win.
Mm-hmm.
And you've never judged me one time. And for that, I'm as loyal as the day is long. And until you ever break that, like, you'd have to go fuck everybody else, well, or at least one person, or cheat on me, right? Or lie to me, right? And I should just say one person, not everybody else, but you'd have to lie and cheat to really lose me. But the thing that could make me separate emotionally from your soul is if you judged me.
Yeah.
I don't judge you for anything.
Never. That's why I've said it 1,000 times, but the greatest gift that you have ever given me is the gift of fully allowing me to be my full authentic self.
And what's cool about that, I don't think you know who that is yet, just like I don't even know who that is.
I think that every day I'm kind of like figuring out more and more of who that woman is, you know? And I think it's cool that we could even go back on these podcasts and you could listen to, like, back in 2019 or whatever, when we started these, just my thought process and the way I spoke, and I don't know, just everything, and now transformed into who I am sitting here today, moving across the country. You know, it's all part of it.
Are you proud of yourself?
I'm very proud of myself.
Do you remember, I know you do, but when we first started dating and I jumped on a plane and went to the Bahamas, and then you were going to meet me at the Grant Cardone thing.
Yeah.
And we were like only a couple months into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was like February. So we started dating in October. So October, November, December, January. So about 4 months into it. So I knew you, but didn't really know you yet, like the way we know each other now. But you were so open to whatever I wanted to do, no matter when I was doing it, no matter how crazy it was, that you literally defied everything you hated about it, jumped on a plane by yourself. And you used to need you needed like a month to be able to, I didn't know that until you told me one day, to mentally prep to go. And now I could tell you right now, pack your shit. We're going to Alaska.
Yeah.
And you're going to go. Totally. That growth right there completely changed your DNA. And I know that might seem simple but that's probably pretty hard to do.
It was a big deal for me.
Right? It was a massive deal. But are you proud of everything that you came for? Because you look way hotter now. I mean, you used to pick on your face, and
I mean, I still do that. Yeah, I am so proud. I'm so proud of who I've became. I'm so proud of all of the old stories that I've let go of. I'm so proud of the fact that I had the balls to literally change everything about myself. And that's hard. That's really hard. I've lost a lot of family. I've lost friends. I've lost everything essentially about my house, all these things. I've literally lost everything.
Which house?
Well, some houses.
You still have your house.
I still have my car. Okay.
You just don't sleep at it. You still have your.
But I think so many people are so afraid to let go of who they used to be to go after who they know they can be. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. That's a fact. Like I without your guidance and your leadership in everything that you've spoken to, who I could always become and who I'm going to be. And I just visualize this. And if you never had did that over and over and over and over and over again, I wouldn't have had the guts to change everything about myself. With that being said, yes, I'm so proud of that, because I love who I am. I loved who I was, but I am so proud, and I really, really love who I am now and becoming and still becoming, right? Like, we'll have this conversation in 5 months and I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so different, right? And everybody's going to be like, but you're not that different.
Well, let me ask you this. Why do you like doing this podcast?
I love how much it connects us. I love that we get to share a little bit of our story. I love how much we tell the truth, because it's not always good. Most of it actually is really ugly on this, and the stuff that we talk about, it's real, it's honest, it's raw. But yeah, I just love the fact that you and I get to do, we get to share. And I mean, we talk all the time. We literally talk about everything, but this is in a different setting, you know?
Does it feel good to be back in the rotation?
Feels so good.
And see, I think that's something that's important for the people to listen. And there's like a rhythm and a cadence to everything in your life. And it's great and important to be able to do it. And I think one of the things, though, is to make sure that it doesn't knock you out of your zone. Because one of the things it did was it knocked us out of our zone. So I think, like knocked us out of our everyday life. And granted, there's a lot of other stuff that was hitting, but I think what happens is you let one thing slip and another slips and another slips and another slips. And if we were to sit back right now and get out a pen and paper or like a whiteboard and just start looking at all the stuff that we used to do, we'd be able to dot the I's, cross the T's, and put shit back together to make us be able to go build the life that we want. It's when one thing stops, right? And this probably happens inside of people's relationships. Date night stops, holding hands, going out to dinner, talking, looking, and then the ultimate disconnection is sex. Also, when sex stops, the relationship's over, or maybe other things too. But I think that's like where it happens. But in life, I think for you and I, if we can just remember to do the small things consistently that make us feel good, like this podcast, and we be very consistent with it, it'll change the next 10 years of our life.
One thing that you and I have not been able to successfully do for a long period of time is connect all the dots and have it all flowing at once. Like we could do it for a short time and we're like kicking ass and it feels really good and then something happens, right? I think that's the nature of life.
I think I know why.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this.
Oh, good, because I'm waiting for the answer.
It's because I turn the max volume up.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So like on everything we do. And some people can't run that way. So like even this podcast, right? Yeah. My hope is that we can be very consistent. We found a guy that likes doing it and we could just show up. It can be calm. And my promise this time to you, because I'm not going back after the David Goggins who I was.
We're not going back.
We're not going back, but I for sure am never going to feel the way that I felt again. I'm going to chase the man, not the money. I don't care how many more millions I make or billions I make. Right. And I was chasing the money to give it away to take care of people. I'm going to take care of me. God, me, you, them, right? Yep. That's them is all of you guys, but God, me, you. And I'm going to take care of it in that order. And if I continue to do that, but it's just every day, my diet, right? The podcast, date nights, spending time with the kids. I try to do it all in one day. Yeah. So what happens is, and I do it for 90 days or 120. We do it so much that we leave everybody behind.
Yeah.
And then my frustration because they don't go at my speed, I'm like.
And just so everybody knows too, I have yet to, whatever Mark has for the standard when it's in fitness and business and podcast and in all these parts, like I said, that have connected, you move at such a faster pace than me. And like, I've been so guilty of falling off and being like, oh, okay, we're moving, or there's so many moving pieces going on. So, okay, now my diet is off, or okay, now I haven't been doing this, or no, I don't really care about that right now. And so I'm fully guilty of, but what I think is amazing now is I feel like we're really getting into a position where we're aware of it. We're catching things quicker than we've ever caught before. And now it's like, I forget exactly how you said it yesterday, but it was kind of like we're not going like this anymore. Like we're not doing that.
Right.
Like we're going to crank it and we're going to go full max and we're going all intense, but every single day, every day. It's like, it was more of like we're kicking ass in a gradual way, not like this hockey stick where now all of a sudden everything is chaotic and, oh my gosh, now this is off and this is off.
It's like a rocket and like the thrusters are blowing and it's like going up and up and up and up and I'm just leaving a wake of shit behind me. Right.
We're all done with that.
Us. Right. And this time what I'm going to do completely different is just be consistent. And it's not hard for me to be consistent. It's hard for me to be consistent when the people around me aren't consistent. Because then I start slacking because I feel so much different than everybody else. Yeah. And then I start playing down to a standard and a level that I don't want to because I don't want to outgrow the people that I love. Yep. And then I'm fucking miserable. That's the cycle. Right. So I can do it again if we want. Or I can just hold the standard every day and make you a little bit better, make Phoenix a little bit better, which we've already been doing, right? Yep. 2 days back and our son's back a little bit. Yep. Right. The girls are, I know they pissed you off today, but they're pretty good. Here's the whole point that I want to make. I was talking to John Madsen in the gym a couple weeks ago, and we talked about a conversation that he had with him and I years ago, and he was at around this time in his life where he's like, something has to change. Yeah. Right. And he was winning and doing well, maybe not as good as he is now, but he was doing well, but things were probably falling apart. I don't know the ins and outs. And that's where we're at. We're winning and doing well, but things are falling apart.
Things are not firing in all cylinders right now.
Something has to change. Yeah. And that something that has to change is me because I'm the leader. And like I said on our call yesterday, as of right now, I'm the main character in this motherfucker.
You are the main character.
Right. And when we treat me like I'm an extra, shit don't work.
Does not.
So I appreciate you jumping on here today with me.
It's been real. It's been fun. And it has been real fun.
All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode. I'm looking forward to this. We'll be back hopefully next week as long as Tyler shows up.
No pressure.
All right. Thanks, guys.